Good afternoon, students. In the last class, we discussed regarding the dose response relationship, right? So, today let us move on to the PowerPoint presentation on the xenobiotic compounds. These are foreign chemicals, xenobiotics, and even endogenous substances. So, first of all, we will have a question here. What do you mean by xenobiotics? Xenos means stranger, right? This is a compound which is foreign to the body. So, these foreign substances can produce a variety of biological effects, which are those effects which includes pharmacological responses, toxicity, immunological responses, and cancers. So these xenobiotics can be endogenous substances or even exogenous substances. So the foreign molecules which are not normally ingested or utilized by the organism. These are not going to be normally ingested or utilized by the organism, but they are going to enter into the body, or they are entering through the dietary food stuffs, or in the form of certain medicines, that is maybe drugs, in the form of drugs used for the therapeutic cause, or maybe through inhalation, that is through inhaled through the environment. For example, drugs, food additives, pollutants, insecticides, chemicals, and even carcinogens. So these xenobiotic compounds can be also endogenous substances. So though they are not foreign substances, but they are going to have an effect similar to the exogenous compounds or the exogenous substances or the exogenous foreign substances. So these are going to be synthesized in the body, or they are going to be produced as a metabolites of various processes in the body. For example, bilirubin, bile acids, steroids, eicosanoids, and certain fatty acids. So next question will be how these xenobiotic compounds which are undergoing metabolism, how these are going to be metabolized. So the metabolism of these xenobiotics which are going to occur in two phases. First is the phase 1, second is the phase 2. Which are all the reactions coming under phase 1? Let us see. The phase 1 reactions involves or includes hydroxylations. In addition to hydroxylation, we can come across a wide range of reactions which are also going to take place under this phase 1. Deamination, dehalogenation, desulfuration, epoxidation, peroxygenation, and reduction. Okay, next we will see the phase 2, which are all the reactions which are going to come under phase 2. The hydroxylated or other compounds which are going to be produced in the phase 1 reactions, which are going to convert by the specific enzymes to various other metabolites. Those are polar metabolites by conjugating with glucuronic acid, sulfate conjugation, or even acetate conjugation, or even with the glutathione, or even certain amino acids, or by methylation. So these are all the reactions which are coming under phase 2. So let us see how this biotransformation or the detoxification reactions which are going to happen or which are going to occur. All these biochemical reactions which are involved in the conversion of mainly the foreign toxic and the water insoluble molecules. I'll repeat it once again. These are the reactions which involves the conversion of foreign toxic and water insoluble molecules to non-toxic water soluble and excretable forms, which are going to be referred as detoxification reactions or biotransformation reactions. So the overall purpose of these two phases of reactions which are going to happen, or the phases of metabolism of these xenobiotic compounds or the foreign substances, includes the main purpose is to increase their water solubility, that is nothing but polarity. It is going to increase the water solubility, that is nothing but polarity, and where the excretion of these toxic substances which can be removed or excreted from the body easily. This is the main purpose. In certain situations, these reactions may also, instead of increasing the toxicity of a foreign compound, these are also occurring intoxication way, that is intoxication reactions. We can see later what do you mean by this intoxication reactions. So these are the two purposes where we can see the main purpose was to increase their water solubility, that is nothing but polarity, in order to excrete the toxic substances out from the body. Coming for the purposes, what I have just now told, the purposes includes biotransformation reactions. Purposes includes converts lipophilic substances to hydrophilic compounds and facilitates excretion. That's what. See. And what are all the consequences which is going to happen? Changes in the solubility characteristics, detoxification, and as well as metabolic activation. So these are the three consequences which we can come across during biotransformation reactions. Purpose is to convert lipophilic substances to hydrophilic compounds and it facilitates the excretion. Consequences are mainly three: changes in the solubility characteristics, detoxification reactions, and metabolic activation. Coming for the role of liver, how this liver is playing a main role or the main organ which is involved in carrying out all these detoxification reactions or converting toxic compound into non-toxic and to excrete out from the body. So the main organ involved here is the liver, where the hepatocytes, which contains a wide variety of enzymes which are involved in this process of xenobiotics or biotransformation reactions. So enzymes which are present in the cytosol, endoplasmic reticulum, and to a lesser extent you can see in other organelles also. So these enzymes represents a large family of gene product, each gene product which may be induced by different xenobiotics, right? This gene product may be induced by different xenobiotic or different foreign substances. Coming for this overall view of this biotransformation reaction, what is going to happen? So in the phase 1, which includes the reactions which can limit the toxicity of a drug, and this can also, phase 1 reactions can also convert xenobiotics or the foreign substances from inactive to biologically active compounds, that is nothing but metabolic activation. In these instances we can also see this original xenobiotics or the foreign substances which are going to refer to as prodrugs or procarcinogens. Coming for the phase 2, what is going to happen in the phase 2 or the conjugation reactions? So these reactions can convert the active product of phase 1 reactions to the less active or inactive species. So they are going to involve in the conversion of active products of this phase 1 which are formed in the phase 1 to a less active or inactive species which are subsequently excreted in the urine or in the form of bile. That is in the bile, right? So in a very few cases we can make out conjugation may all actually increase the biological activity of the xenobiotic compounds, that is nothing but through metabolic activation, right? So this is the overall view of biotransformation reaction which is going to happen in phase 1 and phase 2. See here, this is the slide which clearly explains you this potentially toxic xenobiotic substances, that is foreign substances, undergoing detoxification mechanism to form inactive metabolite in the phase 1, and next it is going to be converting into relatively harmless compound, that is the product of phase 1 reactions converting into less active or the inactive species. Next it is going to be excreted, right? Metabolic activation, and it is going to result in the formation of reactive intermediate, right? So this is how whole biotransformation reaction mechanisms are going to happen in phase 1 and phase 2. Coming for this particularly phase 1 and phase 2, what are all the reactions I've explained you here? That is the drug. So where you can come across in phase 1 oxidation, reduction and hydrolysis, and phase 2 conjugation products you can make out. So coming for this, the comparison between phase 1 and phase 2, right? Comparison between phase 1 and phase 2. What is this? So in the enzymes, where the enzymatic mechanisms are the reactions which are going to happen in phase 1 and phase 2. The types of reactions in phase 1 are hydrolysis, oxidation is going to happen, reduction is going to happen, hydrolysis. Whereas phase 2 only conjugations. That's what we say. I have shown you the last slides. Either maybe phosphate conjugation or maybe sulfate conjugation or maybe acetate conjugation, right? Glucuronide conjugations. And coming for this increase in the hydrophilicity, so in case of phase 1 it is very small, and in case of phase 2 very large. Increase in the hydrophilicity nature will be very large. Whereas coming for the general mechanism in phase 1, where the exposed functional group, you can see the exposure of the functional groups in the phase 1, and in phase 2 we can see the polar compounds which are going to be added to the functional group. So what are the consequences which is going to happen in the phase 1? As I said you earlier, it may result in phase 1 by metabolic activation, whereas in phase 2 it will result in it will facilitates the excretion of the toxic compound out of the body. Coming for this factors which are going to affecting the biotransformation of drug, right? So prior to the administration of these drugs or co-administration of the other drugs, right? And as well as it also includes the diet. It also depends on the factor, that is diet, as well as hormonal status, as well as genetics of the particular body, right? And as well as disease, that is decrease in the cardiac and pulmonary diseases, and as well as it also depending upon the factor age and developmental status and functional status of the liver and kidney. So these are all the factors which will affect the biotransformation of these toxic substances in converting into non-toxic substances. That is nothing but biotransformation of these drugs. Coming for the phase 1 reactions, as I explained you now, just a bit gist of this. Now we will move on to the exact phase 1 reactions. What are all the reactions coming under this phase 1? So it includes oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis reaction. So these are all, they are also called hydroxylation reactions, since they are introducing or exposing a functional group such as example OH, which is going to serve as the active center for the sequential conjugation reaction which is going to happen in the phase 2 reaction, right? So they are going to expose the functional group in order to serve as the active center for the next conjugation reaction, sequential conjugation reaction which is going to happen in the phase 2. This is the particular consequence of this phase 1 reaction, that is oxidation. Coming for this first oxidation reaction, you can see here a large number of the foreign substances which are going to be destroyed by the oxidation which is going to happen in the body. That is example, you can see here oxidation of methyl group, that is CH3 containing compounds, any compound methyl group containing any compounds which are undergoing oxidation to form acid, that is through formation of alcohol and aldehyde CH2OH and CHO. Then you can see the formation of acid. This is how the oxidation of a particular compound which is going to happen inside the body. You can see one more example, oxidation of alcohols such as primary aliphatic and aromatic alcohols. So these are going to be oxidizing to the corresponding acids. Example methanol. First it is going to form as a formaldehyde and formic acid, ethanol, acetaldehyde and acetic acid. Benzaldehyde, benzyl alcohol is getting converted into benzaldehyde and benzoic acid. So this how the oxidations of xenobiotic compounds which are going to happen inside our body. What is this methanol toxicity? So this methanol toxicity, which is a relatively low toxicity, this is going to be metabolized in the liver first. You can see here, in the first step of this degradation, methanol is first, it is going to be transformed into formaldehyde, I said, right? Formaldehyde. So that is acted upon by the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase. Then this formaldehyde is going to be transformed to formic acid by the enzyme, acted upon by the enzyme aldehyde dehydrogenase, which is a very fast process, or this reaction is going to happen very faster. So the metabolism of this formic acid is very slow. That is, metabolism of this formic acid is very slow. Conversion or transformation of this formaldehyde to formic acid is very slow process, whereas converting this formaldehyde, formic acid is a very faster process, which is going to be acted upon by the enzyme, this aldehyde dehydrogenase, right? So the particular reaction, often this formation, that is metabolism of this formic acid, is a very slow process, I said. So this often it is going to be accumulated in the body, which further results in the metabolic activation, as we have seen in the last slides, few slides back. So which is going to happen, this metabolic activity, because of very slow conversion of this into formic acid. So it is going to be accumulated in the body, results in metabolic acidosis, right? So this is going to happen, that is metabolic acidosis is going to happen because of the accumulation of formic acid in the body. So the major damage which is going to occur to the optic nerve, ethanol is given as an antidote, since it is the true substrate of alcohol dehydrogenase. Methanol is going to be spared, right? So you can make out here in this slide methanol toxicity, how it is an example for just a few slides back I told you intoxication, right? Intoxication was going to happen, how this, because of methanol toxicity, or what is it, acidosis, right? So you can see here methanol to formaldehyde conversion by the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase. Next, formaldehyde dehydrogenase, that is aldehyde dehydrogenase is acted upon formaldehyde, forming formic acid. Then carbon dioxide and water completely oxidized. So you can see here this formic acid, which is undergoing metabolic activation, that is in the nothing but converting, because of the slow conversion of this formic acid, methanol to formic acid. This formic acid has been accumulated in the body, results in metabolic acidosis, you can see here. So which further results in the damage of the tissue or the particular organelle, right? Okay, shall we stop in here, and I will explain you in the next slide regarding this other oxidation, aromatic hydrocarbons, how it is getting oxidized, undergoing oxidation, and as well as reduction and hydrolysis. Thank you.